Ding me.
If you've ever wanted to take to the high seas as a pirate crew and loot other ships, then today's Set It Up video might just be for you, because today we're going to be setting up Libertalia. And Libertalia lets you do just that. You take to the high seas as a 30-member pirate crew, and you're going to be looting ships and gathering riches. Libertalia is a 2 to 6 player game. It plays in about 40 to 60 minutes, and it comes to us from Asmodee. The artwork on the outside of the box is outstanding. The artwork on the inside of the box, just as outstanding, which really lends itself to the pirate theme of the game. So if you like pirates, you like the high seas, and you like gathering riches and looting ships, then today's Set It Up video might just be for you. So we're going to jump inside the box and set up Libertalia. Libertalia is a pretty easy game to set up. There's not a lot to it. There's a lot of little neat components, like I said. I think the components and the art in this game really set the game apart and really give it that strong pirate theme. The game itself takes place over 3 campaigns. As the pirate crew, you're going to be looting ships for 3 campaigns during the game, and in each one of those campaigns you have 7 days. The first 6 days are the 6 days of looting, and then on the 7th day, that's the day of rest, and that's when you're going to be counting up all the riches that you've acquired in the previous 6 days. You'll count those riches up, you'll adjust the score token on the score track. At the end of the 3rd campaign, the player with the most riches, that's the player that wins the game. We're going to set this game up starting with the player components, and then we'll move into the general game components. We'll start off with the pirate den, and each player gets 1 pirate den, and this is simply just a character sheet in the game. There's nothing too special about it other than it has a color which lets you recognize which cards you've been playing, and it shows you which score token you have on the score track. It does have a pirate name in the bottom, and then also a pirate ship name at the bottom, so if you really want to play up that pirate angle, by all means go for it. It's there for you to use. It kind of helps add to that pirate flavor of the game. And then it also has a reference sheet. On the top left, we have the campaign actions that take place within the game, and then we have the loot value and loot type tokens in the right. So that just shows you how much the loot's worth, and then also shows you what actions are in the game. Just serves as a reminder for all players. There are no special abilities on any of these. All players start the game on an equal playing field. Everybody starts the game with the same cards, the same actions, the same everything, which I think is what really makes Libertalia a fun, great game. The fact that everybody starts the same, there's nobody that's overpowered, there's nobody that's underpowered. It's up to you to decide which cards you want to play and in which order you want to play them. Players setup also starts with, you take all player score tokens and place them on the score track. And that's just simply exactly what it is. You just have a token to show you where you are on the score, so you can figure out, man, I'm losing, or yay, I'm winning. So that's all that you do with that. Players also start with a little flag shaped token, and that's your crew marker card. And this again is just something simply to place on the deck of cards that you haven't played yet. It's just an organizational tool, just so you know, hey, I haven't played these cards, because as the campaigns grow, you'll have cards out in your player den, you'll have discard pile, so this is just the cards that you haven't played yet. Players also start with 10 doubloons, and doubloons are the currency in the game. As you gain doubloons, those also will be added to your scores. So you're gonna be getting loot that's worth doubloons, and you're gonna get doubloons that are worth doubloons. Add those together, adjust the score token on the score track, that's your new score. But players do start, each player starts with the same amount, a total of 10. The last thing that players start up with is their crew members, and the crew members come in the form of the 30 player cards. And the crew members themselves have a rank starting from 1 all the way to 30. And each card has different actions on it, but the rank is also a little bit important, because the rank tells you the strength of the card. The higher the rank, the more chance that you get the loot that you want to get when you play the card. However, it's not always the best decision to play the card with the highest rank turn after turn, because all the cards have different actions, and it's going to change how you're going to want to play your game and kind of change how you're going to want to play your cards. You might want to play a low ranking card before the high ranking card. You might want to save those high ranking cards for the end of the game. That's where the fun really starts to shine in Libertalia, because even though everybody has the same cards, everybody's going to be playing them in a different order. But to start the game up, the first player is going to draw off 9 cards off the top of their deck. And then they're going to take those 9 cards and they're going to call them out to all the players. Because again, everybody starts with the same hand. Everybody has the same cards, same actions, same everything. So the first player, after they draw off the 9 cards, they're going to call out which cards they actually played. So for this case, we've got the Governor's Daughter, the Barkeep, the Monkey, the First Mate, the Surgeon, the Voodoo Witch, the Parrot, the Spanish Governor, and the Brute. So those are the 9 cards that everybody's going to be starting with. You wouldn't go quite that fast because not everybody's going to be able to dig through their deck and find those, but you get the idea. Everybody starts the game with the same 9. We'll go through the card itself. Each card has a rank, and the rank, here looking at the Governor's Daughter, has a rank of 25, and that's the top left-hand number for the wax seal. And that's the strength of the high rank of the card. The higher the rank, like I said earlier, higher chance that you're going to get the loot that you want, but also the actions are a little bit different. In the center of the card, we have the actions, and that tells you what type of actions that you have available to play with that card. And then in the lower left-hand corner, we have the strength or the influence value of that card. And the influence value, what that's going to do is that if 2 players play the exact same card, so if 2 players play the Governor's Daughter, which a rank of 25, there is a strength number down here of 6, or an influence number, sorry, of 6 for the Governor's Daughter. So if another player plays the Governor's Daughter and it has an influence value of, say, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1, the green Governor's Daughter actually is the stronger card because it has an influence of 6, and the other cards might have an influence of 5 or 4, so that's lower, and you would adjust the cards played on the ship based on first rank, then influence. There are 4 different types of actions that you're going to find on the cards. You'll have a sun icon, which is a day action, and those actions take place during the day. You'll have another sun icon that's kind of behind some clouds, and that's your dusk action. You have a night action, which is in the form of a little icon that looks like a crescent moon. And then we have the end of campaign actions, which look, those icons are a little green anchor. And we'll get into when those actions actually play here in a little bit. But that gives you the anatomy of a crew member card and kind of shows you what those cards are like. That kind of sets up each player. So that concludes the player setup. Now let's move into the general game setup. We'll start with the general doubloons area here. There are 3 different types of doubloons, and again, those are the currency in the game. We have gold doubloons, which are worth a value of 10, silver doubloons worth a value of 5, and the copper or bronze doubloons worth a value of 1. And those just need to be accessible for all players. Nothing too special there, just the currency, just the general bank area. Then to the left here, we have the score track. Again, nothing real new there. This is where everybody keeps score so you can see if you're losing or if you're winning. Then in the center, we have the game board, and this is where the heart of the action takes place. This is the ship that we're going to be looting. And to set the ship up at the start of the game, at the start of each campaign, you're going to go to the loot bag. And the loot bag that you got with the game, you're going to have all the loot tokens inside. And then what you're going to do is, for the number of players in the game, that's the number of loot tokens that you're going to place in these bottom 6 squares that represent the 6 days of looting. So for this setup, I have 3 players sitting here. So we're going to put 3 loot tokens on day 1, 3 loot tokens on day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6. So all 6 days, they're all going to have, each day is going to have a total of 3 loot tokens for that spot. And that's the loot that's going to be available for players to try to go get during each of those days. So let's go through each of the loot tokens. There's a total of 7 different types of loot, 4 of which have a value in doubloons, and then there's 3 loot tokens that are more like, one's a penalty, and then 2 kind of create a little bit of cross-player and damage to some of your own players. So let's go through those now. Starting off with the treasure chest loot token, that's worth 5 doubloons. Then we have the jewels, and those are worth 3 doubloons. And then we have the general goods or rum, worth 1 doubloon. Then we jump down to the treasure map, and that is only worth doubloons if you can get or gather 3 of those. If you get 1 treasure map, it's worth nothing. 2 treasure maps, it's worth nothing. But if you can get all 3 treasure maps in a single campaign, then that is worth 12 doubloons. So it has a pretty high value, but it's sometimes very difficult to get, especially if other pirates at the table are trying to stop you or prevent you from getting those treasure maps. The next loot token is the Cursed Relic, and that actually has a -3 value, so it's worth -3 doubloons, and you would just deduct that from your total when it comes time to adding up your riches at the end of the campaign. The next loot token is the Saber, and what the Saber does is it's going to allow you to look to your player on the left or look to the player on your right, and then decide if you want to kill off one of the players that they have in their den. So looking here at this setup, if the player to my right picked up the Saber, they could then decide they want to use that Saber to kill off the card that I have in my den in my play area, and then what I have to do is I have to discard that card to my graveyard, and then that card won't be used the rest of the game. So Sabers are kind of come in handy if you're trying to stop a player from keep using that night action that keeps giving them a lot of doubloons, or it keeps affecting you. You could use a Saber possibly to take out that player's card in their den. The next and final loot token is the Spanish Soldier. And the Spanish Soldier is a little bit unique because what it does is you're actually taking that Spanish Soldier as a prisoner. But as you're capturing that soldier, you end up losing the card that you played in the process. So if you had a card out on the ship that you were using to loot the ship, and you had to pick up the Spanish Soldier either by choice or by the fact that it was the only one left, regardless, you pick your card up, and then you pick up your loot token, and it happens to be the Spanish Soldier. What happens is, during the capture of that soldier, they actually kill off your card. So you're not going to be placing that card into your den. You're instead going to be placing that card into your discard pile because that card or that crew member was killed off during the capturing of that soldier. So it can be a negative unless you're just trying to get rid of a card. But that explains all of the loot tokens. And then above that, we have the player crew card area. And this is where you're actually going to be placing cards that you're playing. So let's just say for day 1, each player is going to go to their hand and they're going to look to see which card do I want to play. Then they're going to place that card face down in front of them, and then all players are going to simultaneously flip that card over to reveal the card that they've played, and then they're going to line these cards up in increasing order, starting with the lowest rank first, moving up to the highest rank. And then you're going to resolve the day actions on the cards, and those are those icons that have the little sun next to them. So for this instance, I have the Voodoo Witch out here, and I only have the 1 card, but let's just say there were other players on the board. The Voodoo Witch says gain 2 doubloons for each of your discarded characters. So you would play that action and see if you have any discarded characters, and then if so, you get 2 doubloons for each one of those. And then you keep moving up in increasing rank and resolve each of those day actions. Then you're going to move into the Dusk Phase, and the Dusk Phase is almost the same thing, except for this time you're going to go in decreasing rank order. So you're going to start with the highest ranked card, look at it, see if it has any Dusk actions. If so, resolve that. Pick that card up. So we'll pick up the Voodoo Witch since that's the only one I have right now. Pick the card up, place it into your den, and then pick up the loot token that you want to have to work towards your riches at the end of the campaign. Once all players have done that and you've gone through all cards on the ship, all players will then resolve any night actions they have. That's the 3rd phase of the day. The night action, again, is the little crescent moon icon, and all players are going to resolve those simultaneously. And those actions actually keep happening throughout each of the days. So sometimes you want to try to get those night actions out first, so that way you're reaping the benefits in day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6. After day 6, we move into the 7th day, and the 7th day is the day of rest. And the first thing you're going to do there is you're going to resolve all cards that have that little green anchor icon. Those are your end of campaign actions. So all players are going to then do that simultaneously as well. And those actions will be resolved, and that will end day 7 But first, players are going to count their riches. They're going to count up all the loot they have, take away any penalties, and then also add the doubloons, put those two numbers together, show what it is on the score track, and move everybody's score token accordingly. After that third campaign ends, the player again with the highest score, that player wins. Here, I think that wraps up the general game components. Hopefully this video has helped you out decide, do I like Libertalia? Do I think the game is right for me? I think it's a great, wonderful game. The artwork on this game, I really do enjoy the artwork. It's got a very nice painterly effect on the cards, the player dens or the pirate dens, the ship itself, the loot tokens. There's so many strong elements of the pirate theme here. The only thing that might have been cooler is if we had like little plastic money tokens here to really give you that kind of sense that you're really sitting at a pirate table. But it's fine, it works. I think the game really works well. It's a lot of fun. Again, I think it's a great game for if you have more players, more in that 3 to 6 range. 2 players is fair, but the 3 to 6 range is where this game really, really shines. But hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think in the comment box below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.